According to the South African Bone Marrow Registry, hundreds of South Africans with blood-related diseases such as leukemia, aplasia, as well as immune deficiencies and inborn errors of metabolism reach the point where their only chance of survival is a blood stem cell transplant. The greatest challenge is finding a compatible blood stem cell donor. In most cases, a stranger helps a stranger, and there are growing calls for South Africans to join the cause. Today, we speak to Dr. Sunira Rugnath, a medical advisor at Bestmed, who is here to tell us more about her journey as a stem cell donor and why it is important for more South Africans to consider being a stem cell donor. Welcome, Dr. Suni. Please tell us what motivated you to become a stem cell donor.
Well, Bestmed works with an organization called DKMS. They were previously known as the Sunflower Fund, and they combined with an international German organization. And DKMS tells us that a South African is diagnosed with a blood cancer or disorder every 72 minutes. But unfortunately, on the registries, only 0.04% of our population is registered as a blood stem cell donor. I was inspired by DKMS's mission to maintain an international registry that is representative of the ethnicities and diverse backgrounds of the population, and by the important role that Africans could play in saving lives of South Africans.
You mentioned ethnicity. Now tell us, why is ethnicity important?
Ethnicity is really important in donor matches because it's based on genetic characteristics. So a black cancer patient would require a black donor because of the genetic basis. DKMS tells us that unfortunately, black, Indian, Asian, and colored populations only have a 19% chance of finding a match on the donor registries in their current form. This is why it's so important for people of color to become donors so that the registries are more representative of the population.
Can you help clarify for our viewers what exactly is a blood stem cell transplant?
A blood stem cell transplant is a medical procedure where a person's damaged stem cells are replaced with healthy stem cells. Now, the stem cells could be damaged by high doses of chemotherapy or radiation, which is why cancer patients typically are the ones who receive these. And a donor match for a stem cell transplant can be a related or unrelated donor.
Now, how exactly are donor matches determined?
So donor matches are determined with your tissue type and not your blood type. So these are inherited genetic characteristics, and that is why a group of characteristics would be more common in a particular race group, and that is why we look for that in donors. It's also why it's more important for people of color to donate so that the chances of donor matches are higher.
So what does the process of becoming a donor involve?
So the process of donation through the DKMS site was so simple and also is free of charge. So I went to the DKMS site, I completed a health questionnaire which determines my eligibility to become a donor. I then gave them my address and they sent a pack through to my home. This pack contained 3 cotton swabs and I followed the instructions on the kit. It's very clear and simple. I swabbed the inside of my mouth, put the cotton swabs back into the kit, and then it was collected by DKMS through a courier service. This will then arrive at the lab, and then they will place me on the registry.
And then, what does the actual process of donation involve?
So the DKMS site tells us that for more than 90% of their donations, the blood stem cells are actually collected through the bloodstream in a process called peripheral blood stem cell collection. It's very simple. A small thin tube collects the blood from the donor and passes it through a machine where the stem cells are then collected and the blood is passed back to the donor. It is a painless, non-invasive procedure. It doesn't require hospitalization and takes about 4 to 6 hours. Typically, the donor is released even on the same day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sunira, for that helpful information. Now, what is your message in closing to people who want to participate, who want to donate, but are a little bit hesitant, and who should they contact?
Well, my message would be to all 18 to 55-year-olds to go to the DKMS site, read and educate yourself on the process. It's such a simple, small act that could result in saving somebody's life. And in terms of the contact details, the site is DKMS Africa, and it's very easy to click on becoming a donor with all the relevant information there.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sunira, for that possibly life-saving information.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I am feeling confident that our listeners enjoyed that session and that they are possibly motivated to become a blood stem cell donor. Thank you for your time.